Hey everyone, and welcome to the Rogue Podcast. This is going to be an interesting show, and it's kind of unfortunate because this was one of the heavier episodes in exposition, not necessarily in, like last week. I was sad I missed last week, but um, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit since no one can stop us.
And yeah, I wasn't here for that
Yeah,
episode
neither of
either.
us were
So
here, so we didn't give our takes, but there was a lot of talking in this episode, not so much doing like in last week. We had a lot of nostalgia in last week, a lot of good stuff, but this week's a little
it
different, a little more.
was
Felt more like a straight up Rebels episode more than any.
that. Yes, I 100% agree with that. And can we just start off with the title? Like,
Far,
could it have
far away.
could it have been a better title in your opinion?
See, I guess we can, since that happened in the beginning. Maybe you didn't think twice about it, but I was a little annoyed that Hu Yang said
Okay,
a
yeah,
long
yeah, yeah.
time ago in a galaxy
Yes,
far, far away. The title's
as was
perfect,
I.
yeah, because it's kind
The
of
title of the episode is
inconsequential.
perfect because we're beyond the fourth wall and we can appreciate that. But I agree with you. Hu Yang did not need to say that.
I think some people are like, a lot of people are liking it. I think I don't really like it. I think it. Let's see. I sent this message in the Discord, so I feel like it's best if I just read what I said because that's
Okay.
how I felt. But I'm gonna have to scroll to it. Basically said something along the lines of, "Hey, you know that thing you're watching? It basically like Hu Yang's telling us, oh yeah, I just wanted to remind you guys aren't in this galaxy far, far, far away. You're sitting in your couches watching the thing. So I'm going to say the thing to remind you about the thing that
Yeah.
you're supposed to be paying attention to. So it's kind of like, here we go. I just found it. Hey guys, not to take you out of this far away world, but remember you're watching the thing? Let me say the thing out loud just to remind you that you're still watching the thing. Like, yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. Hopefully,
I wasn't too
David
big a
and
fan either.
CJ have different thoughts. I feel like we would all agree on that one, but I don't know. Who knows? So I should probably pull up the episode because there was enough that happened in this episode where I think it would be beneficial to go shot by shot, or it's not shot by shot, but scene by scene. So let me pull it up. So right away we start with that scene with the Purgils going through the space thing was pretty awesome.
It was. I like that it was a different effect
Yeah.
than what we're typically used to seeing in hyperspace, which I was like, that's nice. I didn't really think about it before.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, correct me if I'm wrong. How did Rebels? Hmm. Did
How did
Rebels ever
Rebels do hyperspace?
with the Purgils?
No, I don't think they ever did. Not to my knowledge.
I don't think they ever showed it in. I know they showed him jump to hyperspace,
Yeah, I think they just
and I
showed
know that you
them.
briefly see it in Mando, but
Yeah, I don't think they ever go into hyperspace with them. They just kind of shoot off at the end of Rebels.
yeah, that's right.
So I think that was definitely fair it was cool to have it something different than the
Right.
normal blue warbly thing we normally see. So we go straight from there, and it kind of goes back to Morgan, Balin, and Shin in their little thing, and they talk about how this is the graveyard of the Purgils. I thought that was kind
Right.
of interesting.
And tell me your thoughts on this, but I don't think the intent was for us to think that the Purgils that Ahsoka's coming with are coming back to their death grounds.
Correct. Yeah,
I don't think that was the intent.
I agree. It was interesting to see all the bones and stuff. And
Yeah.
actually, before I forget about it, the scene where the giant ring came out of hyperspace. Actually, now that I'm thinking and I'm looking at it as well, the ring going through hyperspace was different as well.
That's right. You're right.
because I
Oh,
guess it's like intergalactic travel has a different look.
yeah. They're going faster, or it's a different. eh, it's a
It's a
different route.
different yeah, it's a different portal, so it's
Yeah.
gonna look different because instead of going by 10 billion stars at X whatever, you're going
Right.
past 10 trillion stars at
Exactly. Yeah.
3 times the speed, which makes me wonder. That that was kind of the gist of this episode was, well, why didn't they do that? Well, they could have done that. Why didn't they do this? That's how it kind of was for me. So like if they can do, and I know that's kind of just a plot point you have to get used to in any cinema, is just kind of the thought that, well, no one has tried this before. Like like Sidious didn't care to try to go to a different galaxy.
Yeah,
I
like
feel
why
like
didn't he if he could build these mega structures, why wasn't he building like backup hyperspace rings to go to another galaxy?
yeah. But I guess, I mean, you kind of have to accept that, like, all right, we're here right now. They're
Mm,
doing this. You have to accept that it's just never been done before and has to be
right.
done for the first time
Yeah.
at some point.
Right. Yep.
And then, even what I was scrolling back to was when the giant ring came out of hyperspace. That shot looked so cool, where it was kind of like wobbling through the air just
Yeah.
because it was going from a billion parsecs an hour to like coasting
Mm,
speed. That part was
yeah.
really cool.
Yep.
And then we do get a lot of talking from Balin in this episode, which was good. A little too much talky at some point. I don't know how do you feel about all the talking?
Well, first of all, he's talking about how like his first dialogue is talking about how, oh, I'm going to keep Sabine as a prisoner because I have some use in mind for her, right?
Hmm.
That's his initial dialogue. And then his dialogue kind of turns to like a lesson for his Padawan where he's like explaining everything that's going on as they're like entering the system. Is this the dialogue you're referring to, right?
Hmm.
His first initial dialogue. Yeah.
Yep.
And I found it I enjoyed it because it kind of gave me a little more insight into his character. I didn't feel like it was drawn out or anything.
Hmm. And even he was talking a bit about the Jedi Temple, and Shin was kind of, and we can kind of glob all their discussions because they have like
Right.
two big dialogue
They have
scenes
like two or
together.
three. But
Yeah.
yeah, my important thing I was trying to convey is in this episode, I noticed a lot more master apprentice going on between the two
Yes.
of them, like him
Yeah.
trying to impart some lessons to her.
Hmm. Which I think was good because we haven't really had time to see that yet. So I think it was certainly good to see. And he just kind of kept resorting to, like, we're trying to get this power, we're going to get this
Mm,
power, and you just got to trust, you got to trust me. And the Jedi fell, and they fell for a reason because they were weak. So we're going to try and seek this thing that, like, we're not going to fall. We're not going to go anywhere. It's just going to go on forever, I
right.
guess. But I did like that one time when she asked him something like, "Do you miss the Jedi? Do you miss the
Yeah.
temple? Do you like kind of miss that life?" And I forget entirely his answer, but it basically was like, kind of, but I don't miss it because it
It didn't
ended.
work. So what he
Yeah,
ba- what he
yeah,
kind what he said was, is I missed the idea of it. He said
hmm,
idea instead of idea.
yes,
And
like a proper British man.
And basically, what he was saying was, is in practice, in idea, it was good. In practice, it didn't work because of the politics that were happening at the time.
Yeah, which
Which
he not
he
wrong.
was correct. He wasn't he wasn't wrong.
He was not wrong at all. Then so when they get off the ship, right away we see the full-on Night Sisters, three of them, with one of them appearing to be, I'm not gonna, which maybe I should just go to the credits. I'm not gonna say it's Mother Talzin because there's
They were
no
all
way it's
grand. They
Mother
were all
Talzin.
grand. Uh,
Grandmothers,
I don't want to say
grandmother sisters.
grandmothers. I don't know if that's the right word, but
Let me look again. Oh, they have. They have names. They have like
They're great. They were great mothers. Is what they're called. Great mothers.
yeah, that would make sense. So, because when the one talked with the cone head, it was doing the thing that it would do when Mother Talzin talked. So remember when she would talk, there was also this kind of deep
Yeah, I don't
modulated
think.
voice that would talk
I
as
think
well, like it was the
Mother
force
Talzin.
talking.
Yeah, I think she was a grandmother, but I think she's just one of the ones that came to. I'll say our galaxy, for lack of a better word, our galaxy, and the others are. They've just always been there.
Clotho. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would certainly agree with that. And they do have names. We've got Ac- Acropow. Let's see if I can. It's really pixely. I'm sure I'm going to get some other names. Clothow was the main one. Yeah, so you're probably looking at the fandom or Wikipedia article where they're calling her the Great Mother.
Yeah,
They greeted Night Sister Morgan Elsbeth and her mercenaries. Yeah, so she's one of the Great Mothers. Interesting. Because though I wonder what their hierarchy kind of is. Like, do they have multiple Great Mothers, or is it kind of like a lineage thing where this is Mother Talzin's? Which I mean,
or
it
is it?
looks like
Is
they've
it
been
kind of
here for a
like
while.
if like this might just be a complete botched? Like, is it the way like convents work? Like, there's a mother and sisters, and then lesser sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
I
kind
mean,
of like
it kind of does give the vibe of like
right.
priestess and
Exactly.
nuns, and
So I
which
don't.
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily I don't think Dave Filoni was trying to make parallels. I think he was just trying to draw inspiration of like
Right.
these
Yeah.
great
Sure.
these great religious organizations that had certain hierarchy. And
Yeah. Instead of Holy Mother, it's Great Mother, or and you've got Sister whatever and Sister.
I mean, yeah, they were the Night Sisters, and they were in charge. They were the dominant species in their world.
Yeah,
But
and they did. Go ahead.
I was gonna completely change gears ish.
I was just gonna say they did drop a little lore of getting us, a little bit of the backstory of how the Night Sisters
I was
came
gonna go
to
there actually. Yeah.
the original galaxy, Star Wars galaxy, and it's kind of like, oh, that's cool. They've originated this galaxy.
Which I think that's huge. Like that's a big
That,
change.
that's some big lore, and
That that the Night Sisters weren't from our galaxy. The Night
right,
Sisters were from a completely different galaxy, which is just weird. Which partially probably makes sense why they were using I don't really think they used the traditional force. They kind of
right,
use a different force. Now, of
or
course,
they
from
just discovered it a different way, harnessed it a different way, learned to use it a different way. All the above. Welcome, David.
welcome. Can you hear us? 1, 2, 3. You're muted. Do you want me to unmute you?
Nope.
Sweet. So we're kind of still in the beginning, David,
Nice.
and we're kind of biting off chunks. So we kind of put all the Balin and Shin sections together.
Okay.
And so we talked about their interactions a little bit, and we didn't talk everything, so we can definitely come back to them. But we were just obviously, as you probably heard, we were talking about how the
Dathomirians.
yeah, like that's huge.
So cool. I was loving it. I was like, lore.
Although they're not actually Dathomirians, are they? Because Dathomir is not
That's
where
also
they
what I
came
thought.
from.
Like,
That's where
I
they
mean, they are like I am
colonized. Or,
they are like I am an American.
yeah, they're galactic
true.
colonizers.
Yeah.
True.
Is that us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
And they're working with Thrawn, and it would appear that are they afraid of something else that is in this area?
Can we update the banner here? It
Why
says
did I
part
change it to
3.
part 3? It originally said
Part
part 4, and then I
4.
changed it to part 3.
5.
It's been a day, let me tell you.
6.
It has been a
Uh,
day.
can you
Tell me
repeat
about
your
it.
question? What'd you say?
Yeah,
So
what
it
was it?
appears that the Night Sisters are they they're working with Thrawn, and are they afraid of something
Are they
that is
working with
in
him or
the?
using him?
To
I
get
mean,
out
to
of that
their-
galaxy.
they're both using each other
I think it's a mutually beneficial relationship
Yep.
for the
to
time
where,
being.
yeah, for the time being.
Like, let's all leave.
Let's all leave.
Okay, but the Night Sisters got there in the first place. Why are they having trouble now?
Did they?
Find that out?
As I understood it, their intergalactic means of transportation, the Purgils, right?
Ah, okay.
Oh, was
I mean,
it?
that would be the obvious conclusion. now
Dang,
that
that'd
you
be
said
cool.
it.
Yeah, and they can't just go whenever they please because the Purgils are back there right now.
I wonder how they controlled the Purgils, or if they originally worked with the Purgils and then eventually
Yeah,
they're just like,
I
no.
don't think we know that yet, and I think it's anything is pure speculation. But my understanding is that in times past, they used the Purgils to get to our galaxy, and that's not a viable option for them at the moment.
Because they might not even have spacecraft. Like, that's
Right.
a very real thing that they could just be like
And
backwards
and
on
I
the
don't
technology.
I also don't think we're supposed to assume that they were just coming back and forth willy-nilly. I think a group of Night Sisters and a grandmother went to Dathomir, and they're just two completely separate sects now. Like the ones that stayed and the ones
Two
that
different
went.
denominations.
Yeah. And maybe they just haven't heard. They're like, oh, we sent a group of people there to conquer like whoever knows how long ago,
It's like
and
when we go to Mars
never
or
heard
whatever.
never heard back from them.
What I think actually happened was I would think that the grandmother would be something like the Sith Lord of the time, where there's one, and then everybody else below him. So I would
Well,
think that
Mother
there's a
Talzin was a grandmother, though.
yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's a chance that when the old mother dies, then they fight to the death and pick a new one,
I
something like
think we'll
that.
see. I think we'll see more of this lore in Filoni's movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say this has got to
Oh
be
yeah.
Yeah,
longer.
because I
Like
know.
this, we're not. I don't think we're gonna find much out in the rest of this season, even.
Yeah, because the idea for Filoni's film is to expand more on how the First Order came to power, and that that's all going to tie into Thrawn. So I think he's laying some groundwork here for us to like pull nuggets,
Yeah,
and that's why he's kind of moving away from Ahsoka just for a minute and kind of expand his Filoniism here.
the universe and such.
The,
Which,
the
Word of
Filoni
the
universe.
day.
I mean, I'm still kind of hung up on the fact that, like, this is huge to me because
What-
you've got the Night Sisters are not from this
Oh
galaxy.
yeah.
Like, because that means at some point in the last, well, when would they have even gone to our galaxy? Would they have
A
gone
long
to our
time ago in a galaxy
It
far,
has
far
to-
away.
8,000 years ago, like before the dawn of the Jedi?
I believe so,
20,000 years
because
ago?
Everything that Balin has heard is gone into legend. The ruins at the planet they left at, the
Yeah.
little holocron thing, whatever you call it, the star map.
Yeah.
That's
Star
all
map.
ancient legend. So they've been around from Dathomir. They've been around a long time. And we know that just from playing, Fallen Order.
Yep. I really hope they'll bring KOTOR into the real.
They're
How would
working
they
on it. I
connect
mean,
KOTOR? Oh, you're saying
bring
the remake?
More so movies, but yes, the remake. Like I don't think we're actually gonna get the remake. Sadly, I've lost hope. There is no new hope. I am
We
the
already
last
spent any
Jedi.
So, also, like Darth Maul comes from these people, so they're coming from them as well.
he's a Zabrak. So they
Oh.
enslaved the Zabraks.
Oh, okay, never mind. Scratch that.
Yeah.
But they empower them, did they not? Or
Yeah,
were
they basically
always powerful?
breed them and enslave them. Yeah.
Here's
So
some
they were
steroids.
the original Dathomirian people?
I'm pretty sure
Or
they just moved in on the Zabraks home planet and were like, we are enslaving all your men now.
this is our planet now.
Yeah.
This is our planet.
Well, that's not even their. Yeah, they just visited their home planet. That's interesting too.
hmm
Interesting.
Yeah,
I need to
very
finish Jedi Survivor one day. One day.
Not today, let me tell you.
No, not
So
definitely not.
Sabine was Sabine. Did you all enjoy Sabine this episode?
I'm still mad at her. And you know what, man? Okay, so
No words.
I'm just still so mad at her. And I know that the last like 15 minutes of the episode was kind of focused on her, so I don't want to get too far ahead.
Two
What was the
timing.
I'm gonna find the
Yeah.
line that Thrawn said to Sabine. It was something along the lines of,
He sacrificed himself to get both of us out of here, and you're going against that.
or pretty much like, is it
you.
the fate of the whole galaxy? Okay, here we go. You have gambled the fate of your galaxy. Subtitle.
Your galaxy.
On that belief. On that
Yeah.
belief of like on friendship. Like you've gambled the fate of
The
your entire
power
galaxy
of
upon
friendship.
And does she understand that? Yeah, that was a good line. Does she not understand like what she did?
I know. That's
Dude,
what
she
I'm
just
saying,
doesn't
like,
care at all. She's just
he
like
summarized it
twitching
so
out
well.
and like
Yeah.
just doing stuff.
All while she was friend zoned.
Yeah, and now I'm like, by my
Like-
sheer grace, I'm just gonna let you go.
I'm like, was she friend zoned or was he friend zoned? And then and
Well,
then
according
he
to
decided
this
to be Jedi.
episode, he friend zoned her.
And
She's
left.
This is would you go this far to get out of the friend zone? Would you traverse a galaxy and put
No.
your own galaxy at harm to get out of the friend
No,
zone? Sabine
absolutely
would.
not.
Depends on how I like my galaxy this morning.
Sabine is a simp.
She is simping for space Jesus. That was
That's so true too, because like especially now, have you guys seen the Chosen TV show?
Yeah.
yes, the first 2 seasons.
Okay, it's actually pretty good, Jim. Even though it obviously adds a decent amount, just like essentially.
Wait, have I seen it?
It doesn't
It-
add
No.
anything that's like
I saw the one called the
heretical.
Bible. I saw
No,
the
it's
one
not
called the Bible. I didn't see the one called the
Oh,
Chosen.
no, this one's better.
Yeah, the
It has an actual
Chosen's
story.
yeah, it has an actual story. It's more fast paced. I would say it's more just not boring. I guess is a big start for those type of movies a lot of the time. And well, anyway, so dude from that movie looks a very lot like Ezra.
Oh yeah. Actually, I didn't even think about that. It looks like they could be either brothers or cousins.
Like cousins,
So,
yeah, like for
yeah.
sure, or
Space-
brothers.
Space
His name
Jesus.
is Jonathan
Yeah.
Yumi or something.
Sure.
Anyways, hey,
Yeah.
so
What about him?
back on track.
Okay.
So when Balin says, "Where's Thrawn?" right? And the Great Mother is like, "He will be arriving
See-
momentarily," and then the Star Destroyer is just right there.
That was sick.
Was it sick
Like-
or was it tacky?
I mean, I think Balin
You're
would have
saying it
seen
was-
that, right? Like,
Oh,
where is
yeah.
it?
Well, the thing when they were talking on the tower, it was
Not
kind of
just on the other
distracting
side of the
how
planet.
bad the volume was. It just looked bad. Maybe I'm just used to it at this point.
What
but-
the Star Destroyer?
No. Before, when they were standing on top of the spire, looking out over
Right.
the water,
Mm-hmm.
it just looked distracting because of
Volumey.
the volume was. Yeah, it
They
just
needed
didn't
to
look
clean the windows.
pretty much like it was.
Oh, wait, I feel like we're getting a little bit ahead. When they were coming down in their little shuttle, did you like the shot of all the statues they were going past?
Oh yeah, that was cool. I like that.
It's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Kinda
that.
was like
Well,
Lord of the Rings
and
Yeah.
it looked a lot
or
like
Dune, actually.
that place that they were in looked a lot like the Rebel base on Yavin 4.
Yeah.
I thought it, like, how it was built, the overall like design reminded me a lot of that, like the the rocks
Yeah,
in
but I
a
think
kind of a pyramid shape on the
with
sides.
the kind of ghoulish looking statues, we're supposed to be like, yeah, this is definitely a sacred place to the Night Sisters.
Yeah, it's just
What it,
cool because I don't know how many of the EU books you've read, Jim, but in EU, the rebel base there on Yavin becomes the Jedi Academy,
hmm,
and
Well,
then
yeah,
like this.
I played. You played Jedi Academy, right? The
Yeah.
game.
Yep.
Okay.
That game
Yeah,
slaps.
the game slaps,
So
dude.
hard.
was that a turn-based game?
No, it was a
No, dude.
first person or third person game. If you had a
To
saber
this
third.
to this day, I play that once a year.
Yeah,
To
Wow.
this day.
I've beat it so many times.
How long
And
is it?
one of the coolest things, probably like 30 hours, maybe 20
In fact,
hours.
I don't think I've played a better Jedi game.
No, I would
Still,
agree. I would agree.
Wow.
Definitely.
still.
Because like
And
the amount of stuff you can do, John, you can jump like 100 feet tall, like 50
If
to
you
100
max out
feet
your
tall.
jump stats.
Yeah, but
yeah,
you have a force bar. So any force you do sucks that down and then you have to wait for it to refill. But you also can switch lightsaber styles, which is sick. You can get a double blade, you can get two singles, and you can like turn one of them off and then turn it back on, and then just like truck your opponent. You can have the big old like baseball bat stance,
It
and
sounds like
and
Jedi
he swings so slow.
Survivor was trying to take from that.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
100%. It's
Yeah.
just more
Because they
Jedi
can't give you
Survivor's more
everything. They can't give you
real.
everything in the first game. They have to follow an order.
It would have to
Survivor.
they would have to do so much, dude. Like
Yeah.
the maps aren't even ready for that.
Oh, is it a huge map as well?
Yeah. And yeah, so like some of the cool things you could do, John, you could actually turn off your lightsabers. And if you had the max in Force Lightning, you could shoot two hands Emperor Palpatine lightning.
And just walk around.
And everything flies.
I think I remember seeing someone do that.
Dude, it's pretty epic. And that's where the lore for Kyle Katarn really comes
Yeah.
from.
Mm.
Yep. That
And-
game and then Jedi Outcast, the game before it.
Yeah.
And then some of the other ones before those.
Not to get too far off topic,
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
but
We're excited.
the scene where the Chimera shows up and it was all like fixed. They were fixing it up with some sort of material, gold-looking material, and then
Yeah.
the shot where
Mhm.
you're
Copper.
in the bay and then
Mhm.
it comes down over the spire. I really liked that shot.
I was like, I really hope a bridge just like
Me
jets
too.
out and like meets them, but yeah, whatever.
Which it kind of did. But what
Yeah,
about
kind
Thrawn's
of.
entrance
It was pretty cool. I liked it a lot.
with Enoch,
Wait, what?
the gold face dude?
The
Oh,
Roman
yeah.
the
I-
Roman centurion.
I didn't know his name.
Yeah, we know we know a lot about him actually. We know the actor. We know we know the guy under the helmet. We know everything. I don't think they're trying to shroud too much what's going on with this guy.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, I was just reading it today and I
His
already
name.
forgot.
I know.
Star Wars Enoch.
It's like at first I thought that was Ezra, like branded under there, like Thrawn
Oh, it's
just
that
captured
guy.
him and branded him.
West Chatham.
Westchester
I remember hearing about
Born
when
and
he was
raised.
casted.
on the
When he was
playground.
cast.
What did you
Yeah,
think
West
about
Chatham.
Part 6?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I don't know what to expect really from him. People are comparing him to Captain Phasma, which I mean yeah, it's same-ish.
Well,
Role.
I really like how they're just making him out like this is like the gold Roman mask. Like he's like the head centurion.
But
for
are these
Thrawn's
people
little
because
band?
all of their stormtrooper armor was all bandaged up in this red thing that kind of looked like Night Sister material. Do you
What?
guys
It
think
looked
this
cool.
is the undead army? You think they're all Marok
It could be.
clones?
Yeah, could be.
I thought the scene with all right, let's talk about Thrawn. Like I don't know. Like I know I said it felt like another episode of Rebels, So, what can you expect? And were either of you expecting something more grandiose, or was it grand enough for you?
It was grand enough for me. Like the biggest thing with me, the only real complaint I had about that or him or anything like that was they had a real rough time with his hair. Like
He
his
got that
hair looked
plastic Lego hair.
no, for real, it's
Yeah.
the Bruce Wayne comb over.
But it's worse because
Yeah.
it just is like,
It's not a matte finish, sir. It is a shine, all shine. All...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to stress, I don't think he looks bad by any means. I don't think the Thrawn looks bad, unless you disagree, John. I don't think he looks bad.
I
He
don't
just
know.
he just
Like,
looks older, and I think
Yeah, he looks older.
that's them
it's
doing
not letting
the
me
thing
zoom
they did
in.
with his hair. And
Come on, let me go full screen. Yeah, it's not letting me.
is that
Maybe
because
they'll
that
clean
dude's
him up.
not bald? Like
No.
he's not bald in real life, right?
No, the
Lars?
actor is not bald.
No.
But he's older, so maybe that is his actual hair.
No, that is 100% not his actual hair. That is
I didn't think
100%
so.
wig. I also thought it was funny that they added in the little V on his head because his orbital bone is like more pronounced in
Yeah.
Rebels.
Yeah.
So when in certain lighting, it looks a little more obvious than I feel like it should, which I thought was
Oh,
funny.
also, you mentioned this possibly being an undead army of stormtroopers.
Which is kind of
Yes.
cool.
If that was the case, would they be concerned about their dwindling numbers?
Dwindling how?
Remember, he said, send one squad because our numbers have dwindled during our time in this galaxy. Remember?
That's, yeah, I guess he wouldn't be concerned about that
If he could
it's,
just raise more from the
yeah.
dead.
So maybe, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
And it could just be that guy's some kind of a, resurrection type.
Were his shoulder pad metal things always
Yep,
gold like that?
they were.
Huh.
Even custom Lego minifigs, people would be putting yellow pirate shoulder pads.
Yeah.
No, I think since they just retired the Star Destroyer, we're gonna
Wrong?
we're
A
gonna
UCS Chimera.
we better.
I don't think we're getting a UCS Chimera. Maybe a playscape.
I don't care, to be honest. As
It
long
comes
as
with
it's,
Thrawn.
as long as it comes with Thrawn and it's like 150 to 60.
I could
Just
see
make
it
it-
coming
just
with
make it a
Thrawn and
mid-scale.
Enoch and
Yeah.
Enoch or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Enoch.
And then
So
Ezra.
people, I think most people don't know the significance of the name Enoch. Do you think the significance of the name Enoch from the Bible has any significance here?
Oh, I
Where-
assumed so.
He didn't.
I
So for those who don't know, if anyone listening, in the Bible, in the Old Testament, Enoch, he gets like 2 verses, basically says he walked with God and he did not die. For basically, the inference is that God took him to heaven and he didn't die. So is this something like
And what was
he's
his heritage?
Undead? Was he in the line of Jesus?
I believe so.
I think so.
So I wonder if. So he's Ezra's father. He's space
yeah,
Jesus.
That's the whole reason. That's the whole reason Ezra went to this galaxy. He's trying to find his dad, man.
Not another daddy adventure.
Could you imagine? Could you even imagine? But yeah,
Dun,
I mean, there's his hair looking all
Yeah, it ain't great.
plasticky.
It ain't great, Chief.
I gotta say, I was not really focused at all on Thrawn's appearance, other than I thought he was a little chubby. But
Let's see if I can find a shot. Because, yeah, have you seen that meme where it's like during COVID? Or before COVID and then after COVID, and it's a picture of Thrawn in Rebels and then.
I mean,
No.
it has been what, 10 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
What else is there to do out there besides, eat all the troops' food?
Belt's getting a little tight, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Little.
He's looking
That's
a
not
little.
that's not as good of a side profile view. Would be maybe a little better, but I don't know if I can find one as quickly. Oh, here
I
we go.
don't know if I can
Maybe.
find one as quickly.
I. Oh no. Grandpa Thrawn. He stole the cookies.
Yeah. See, look, he's got a little bit of a under chin
He's
action.
got a beer belly.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, I honestly, my wish would have been to have. I would have wanted someone else playing Thrawn, and we get a voice imposition. That would have been my desire.
Who would you have
Man.
picked? I'm curious.
Someone taller and more upright.
I would have picked personally, and I apologize for forgetting his name already. The guy who plays in Marvel. He
Benedict
plays
Cumberbatch.
well him or what's the guy's name? He
What's the
plays
character?
he's got the
Black Bolt.
no.
Black Bolt?
Oh,
I
you
don't know why I'm
want
forgetting.
the British dude?
Vision. You want Vision?
Yeah, Vision. The
Mark
guy who
Bolt.
plays Vision. He
Oh,
could
I
have
would
done
be.
I don't remember
He
his
would have been
name.
a really good choice, honestly.
it. Yeah, he would have been a good choice.
James, you remember the guy who allegedly was supposed to play Lex?
Yeah,
I think that guy would have been good. He's got that really chiseled, because you need that chiseled face. Because
Wait.
Thrawn, like, his whole thing is that chiseled face.
no, that's right. Dean was going to play Clark.
You mean
And-
no? He's gonna play Batman, dude.
no, Dean from Supernatural was going to
Yeah.
play Clark, and
Nah, he's
Was-
playing Batman.
Robert Pattinson.
No, what's his face is Batman for the DCU.
No,
James
never
Gunn's
gonna.
James Gunn's Batman.
Oh, okay.
Have you not heard
James-
about that movie?
Who's gonna play him?
Everybody's saying that Jensen Ackles is gonna play.
No.
Oh, Jensen Ackles.
No,
Dude, he's voiced Batman in multiple
yes,
movies.
I know, but he doesn't have that. In my opinion, he doesn't have that movie.
The credibility.
Aroma.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that movie presence.
He definitely needs to be like less, because he's a lot of times he kind of reminds me of like Vin Diesel, The Rock.
Yeah, like because I mean he was in
just like the same-
Supernatural for 14 or 18 something crazy, almost a decade and a half.
2 decades.
And
yeah,
he was a
so-
jokey character, so like
Yeah. So we'll see, but I think he could do it.
Yeah, I see what you mean, though. He could have someone taller and someone who looked more like Thrawn in Rebels. And I was envisioning someone more like the guy who played Vision or Benedict Cumberbatch myself.
I'm still trying to find that one actor. He was on the episode of Talkville. Don't worry, I'll find it real quick. I'll find it. So we can talk about something else while I find it.
How about we talk about what's the name of the little animal that was definitely not supposed to be a dog, but was definitely a dog?
I don't know, because it's not a
The, like,
tauntaun.
The weak way? No.
It was definitely supposed to be like have all the mannerisms of a dog, like or a puppy.
It was like sad even, and
yeah, I was kind of rolling my eyes, like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yep, this is for the children.
This is for the children. Exactly, what I was thinking that and those little lobster creatures. I was like,
Yep.
this is all for the
No,
this is
those
all
are
for the
Teenage
children.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, bro. Get your shit together. Those are Ninja Turtles. Come on. I was like, I can't wait to grab one of them and take them to the top of the hill, and then just roll them down. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I did, David. I did appreciate that that Filoni was like, okay, this is another galaxy. And here is some very obvious, strange, new alien entities.
Yeah, it does make me appreciate it more when the galaxy.
Strange new worlds.
Hopefully not that strange. Yeah, it's just nice when they actually introduce new lore that's interesting and it's not reusing the Wampa
Yeah.
500 million times.
Yeah, exactly.
Seen enough Wampas. Wamp rats, Wampas.
So okay, so now tell me so Sabine goes off.
Yep.
Thrawn lets her go, basically
does.
saying you're
He's
you're
like,
either you're gonna do exactly what I told Balin you were going to. You're gonna serve my purpose, or you'll die out there. And either way, you're of no use to me in the moment. Go find Ezra and lead my people to him.
and he's
And
like, but I will also hunt you like when I get the chance.
yeah, right. So Sabine goes out and immediately gets her equipment destroyed.
in natural manner.
I was like, ah,
Yeah.
yes, a plot device.
Yeah, and was it just me or that whole fight? I was audibly saying, "Get out your lightsaber! Pull out the dang lightsaber!"
That's
And
what I
she's
say
just
to
like,
Mando.
Howler.
yeah,
Yeah, it just makes you upset. You're like, aren't you supposed to be like good at what you do? Like you are, but it takes you a long time to figure it out. And if without
yeah,
that Mando's Mandalorian armor on you,
yeah.
you'd be dead just like Mando.
Also,
and
it was
also,
Anson Mount. Is what I was
he
thinking
played
of.
Anson Mount. He plays. He couldn't have done. No.
Because he's in that other show right now, Star Trek.
He's playing in Star Trek right now. They never would have brought him into Star Wars.
But they could have.
It's mutually exclusive, John. You have to pick
No.
one or the other.
You can't
that be
play
cool if he was in Star
Thrawn
Trek
and
and
play a
Star
Star
Wars?
Trek captain at
I
the
think
same
that'd be
time.
Sweet.
Plus, I can't see him as Thrawn. I just can't.
Well, he'd be dressed up
Yes.
in blue.
You have to
true.
talk very serious and smart.
Yeah. So,
But
anyways, Sabine and
Sabine again. First of all, I forgot about this. She tried to use the Force again.
Did she? When?
to open the.
She tried to
door
open the
prison,
cell door.
Oh, did she?
and it didn't work. Thankfully.
It didn't work. Again, didn't work. And I hope Filoni is going this direction with it. That all because you really want to be a Jedi, and you try sometimes you just
No,
you're
I
just
think
not.
she's gonna
Sometimes
use
you're
the
just-
Force at some point. She's
I really hope she doesn't.
100% gonna use the Force at some point.
I hope it's just like, you know what? Not everyone's meant to be a Jedi. Sabine,
She
sorry.
is 100% gonna use the Force.
Give the
Anyways,
lightsaber back to
That's
Ezra.
what the story beats are showing. That's what the story is showing.
All right, I'm just saying. I would much more appreciate it if she was just like, you know what? This isn't for me. Ezra, here's your lightsaber back.
I
Yeah,
want her
guess
to
she
be.
should give it to him.
I want her to be a Mandalorian Jedi just because Mando isn't that, obviously. And I don't think we're going to get anything like that or any major development from his character too much farther on. Or at least for a while. And I want to say Mando Jedi.
Okay. Well, we'll see what develops. We'll see what Filoni's cooking for us. In the
you ima-
meantime,
Can you imagine
Also,
that? The armor plus the skills of a Jedi, just fly and then fly more.
double fly.
I was like, man, you just like never go down. I feel like.
The choreography was kind of meh in that scene when she pulls
Yeah.
out her lightsaber. That and
It wasn't horrid, but it wasn't great. Yeah.
once again, her lightsaber glances their armor, so maybe the armor of these natives is super, super durable and we just don't know.
yeah, and they definitely didn't act like they'd ever seen a lightsaber before, which obviously, makes sense. But the pigmen, I'll call them the pigmen because they definitely
Yeah.
made pig-like noises.
Yeah. The Tusken
Just that
Raiders, but like
whole-
not quite.
Like in one part of it, she glances it off the dude's staff and nothing happens. It just bounces off. And then at the end of it, she slices it in half. So Disney just continues to not know how to handle lightsabers.
Yes, they're supposed to
per
cut through
usual.
everything except for Beskar. Like,
And
just
yeah,
leave
I
it
know
at that.
Jake talked about it last week, but with Beskar, it's like the point thing he was talking about. I don't buy that for a second.
The what?
Like the point where he says if you use the point of the lightsaber and poke it directly through, it should go straight through.
Yeah,
I don't buy that. I don't buy that,
I don't
Jake.
buy that. Because that's
I
not how a
mean-
lightsaber works. A lightsaber is an arc, an electrical arc. It's pushed up by a plasma.
Is it electrical or is it?
Well, imagine
just
it like an
energy?
electrical arc. Imagine it like an electrical arc between 2 points, right? bzz, like point A and
Yeah.
point B, and it's pushed up into an arc. So it's still 2 points of not electricity or whatever
Energy.
makes up
You just say
energy
Yeah.
between 2 points that's pushed up by a field into an arc. So it's not there's nothing different about the point of a lightsaber than the side of it really, other than that's where the arc reaches its.
You could argue that she went through a weak slice in a point in their armor that was not, at least in those scenes.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep.
We've seen people get stabbed through Mandalorian armor several times in Clone Wars specifically.
I mean, we have, but it doesn't mean it's great. Like, it doesn't mean that it doesn't contradict a lot of what they tell us in Mando and other stuff. So, like, yes, it's a thing, but it's either not explained or you're expected to believe that it repels lightsabers all the time and then they get, like, some kind of an underneath cut, you know?
Mhm.
So
I
they
don't
can't really be,
remember a
like, all
specific
things at
point
once.
where that occurred.
In
Maybe
Clone Wars?
Yeah, was it
You just have to watch it.
Maul-
I mean, Death Watch, like,
Yeah,
anything with
it's
Death
any
Watch.
Death Watch arc. I know Ahsoka kind of slayed a little bit when she was
Ahsoka,
taken
Anakin,
captive by.
Obi-Wan. Yeah.
She was taken captive by Death Watch. She definitely killed a couple Death Watch
Darth
troopers with
Maul.
her sabers.
they
yeah.
didn't have full. It wasn't solid Beskar.
Oh, also, in
That's
just the
easily
last
explained.
episode, Ahsoka, we see a flashback where she's taking out Maul's
Well, yeah, I know. I
Death Watch.
just
And she's like
watched it.
stabbing right through it. She's like,
No, I just watched it, and the one where they do show her stabbing through someone, you could easily argue that they went through a shoulder or an open
Okay.
point in the
Yeah.
side. There was some where she like glances off the armor and they fly like they got killed, so that one maybe would be a little tougher.
well, I would definitely pretend to be dead if someone was coming out with a lightsaber.
And the issue with a lot of those, like, a lot of it you can just chalk down to, like, poor choreography in lore, you know?
Sure.
But like the, you know, the lightsaber stuff with the armor.
So then the scene where they send out Balin and Shin on the animals. I'm like, why
On
don't
their
they give them a
dogs.
speeder
They're
or something?
riding the dog horsies.
Yep.
Like
They get the
why-
same ride everyone else does.
Like why? Why wouldn't you give them something else that can fly? Like they came
Didn't you
in on a
understand?
ship. They came in on a
Because
ship.
They're
Why
gonna
can't
leave
they-
them there.
Their supplies have dwindled during their time.
But they
in this
came in on a
galaxy.
ship. Just use that same ship.
No, they're gonna leave
Yeah.
them there. They want to steal everything that they have and leave them
That's true.
for granted.
Also, the
She actually
scene-
said that.
Shin shows that she is. I can't think of another SH word. That she might be losing faith in her master. The scene where Thrawn and her and Balin are talking, and Thrawn basically says, "We're gonna backstab. We're gonna go against our word. We're gonna find them. Once Sabine finds Ezra, we're gonna find Sabine and kill both of them." And Shin's like, "Wait, that's not what we agreed to, pretty much."
Mhm.
And then Balin's kind of like, "Yep, oh well, we have to listen." And you could see kind of hear in her voice and see in her face that she was not okay with that. Do you guys agree?
Well,
Yeah, but he
or-
kind of explained himself to her, like when they were like when they stopped to like survey the damage of the skirmish.
After everybody
He's
left.
Yeah, and he's kind of explaining to her that my plans are even more grandiose.
But I still don't know if she's on board. I don't
Well,
know if
she's
fully on
questioning,
board.
obviously.
If it's power, she truly if she's like any other Sith type
Lord.
person, and she just wants power, and Balin's basically saying like I'm after something that's more powerful than
But I don't
anything
even think she's a Sith.
ever.
I don't think they're a
Well,
Sith
no.
because he said, "I trained you to be something better."
Something more. He didn't say better. He said more.
More.
Yeah.
Potato.
He definitely
I
didn't say better.
Yeah.
Well, potato. I mean,
Implied.
like,
Yeah,
I don't
and
know. I feel like
like-
there's still so much we don't know about how the training and everything.
Right.
That whole scene.
well, he definitely isn't training her like a Jedi. He's training her to use the Force. If I'm correct, he's training her to use the Force in whatever means to get what you need done.
Yep.
Essentially, he's not training her in any kind of ritualistic use of it in any way.
Well, he thinks the Jedi fail. He literally said that. He's like,
Oh
they,
yeah, and
they were,
he was right. They did.
yeah. He was like, they were idiots. Like they got themselves killed. Like,
Yeah.
or- have you guys discussed the higher power that the Balin's looking for? We have
What
not.
is Balan? Does
We
anyone know who Balan is? Or is
it's like
Ba-
Mulan, but like a
Balin?
little different.
So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts?
Artifact.
Yuzan Vong.
That would be sick. Oh, that would be.
Everyone's saying it like it's not gonna happen. Like why? I don't know why everyone is surprised or would be surprised.
Because the Yuzan
maybe-
Vong are not a weapon, and they're also not something you can control.
Did he say weapon? Did he ever say he was looking for a weapon?
He didn't. No.
No, but he's definitely looking for something that will end up on top.
Well,
Yes.
Because Balin just said perhaps they flee a power greater than their own. What else does he say? And then he said something calls to me,
Mm-hmm.
which
And
is
that's-
interesting.
And he actually asked Shin if she could hear it or feel it.
Yeah. And it's
So-
interesting because the Yuzan Vong kind of came about. They essentially kidnapped a former Jedi,
Can't you
like
see it?
Padawan, turned her to the dark side, and then she was like one of their high up people. At least
Well,
to my like.
You're talking all legends here, right?
I am, but it'd just be interesting to see them do something kind of similar, where,
I don't.
somebody in the dark is calling out to him, basically.
I don't think we have enough time left in this season to go into something that depth,
No, we do not.
David. Maybe
We
in
do not.
Filoni's movie. Maybe in Filoni's movie. But as far as we have 2 episodes left, so they have to. It seems like the mothers are running away. Yeah,
So
I agree
they're
with Jake
bust.
here.
Yeah, they're
I-
bust.
Yeah. I agree with Jake here because there must be something. They're like, we got to get out of here. Thrawn's our best bet right now.
Gotta get out of here.
Could be the Grisk from the books.
So yeah, something's calling to him. We do know the
Mhm.
Grisk. Is it the Grisk that
Yeah.
have?
They have Force sensitives, but
Yeah.
they like the Chiss only keep them until they are essentially adolescents, like 15, and then for whatever reason, Thrawn's people lose connection to the Force as they age, which is kind of wild.
So I'm really
Hmm.
confused. We've got the Chiss, the
Mhm.
Grisk,
Mhm.
and the
Mhm.
Yuzan Vong.
Yep.
Give me a
Yes.
crash course.
Um,
Thrawn is a Chiss.
Chiss, yep.
Okay.
Chiss ascendancy essentially don't believe in provoked violence and attack and yada yada. They have honor. They are a lot less. They're a lot more honorable than Thrawn, and because of that, Thrawn got kind of kicked out of their order, their ascendancy, and they essentially were protecting the galaxy from the Grisk. But Thrawn got himself kicked out because he wasn't willing. He wanted to start a provoked attack into them because he knew they were going to do the exact same thing to them. And then the Yuzan
Who's
Vong.
they? Who's they? The
Grisk.
The Grisk. Okay,
Mhm.
so the
Yeah.
Grisk is another.
So Grisk and the
People.
Chiss that I'm talking about here both exist in canon, in the books, in the new Thrawn books.
Mm-hmm.
The Yuzan Vong are legends.
Okay.
And in Legends, I don't know if the Chiss are even really involved too much with the Yuzan Vong. I don't remember because I didn't read that far into them. But they're basically aliens who have like instead of having technology, all their technology is organic. They can like mold together. It's modular, break apart into fighters. And then they're also not touched by the Force, so
Yeah,
it can't
I remember
affect
hearing about
them.
that.
Mhm.
But they also, can't use it either.
So could the Yuzan Vong be the ones that are calling to him in some way?
Not them personally, no. It's just not possible. Just
Could-
because they can't do that. They can't
Could he-
access
so
the
there's
Force.
no way that he could be drawn to something through someone manipulating the Force.
That could be a thing, because I mean, we saw the mother. I mean, the mother literally manipulated the one girl to come there, and that's what I was saying in those books, in those legend books. A dark Jedi gets captured by the Vong, And what they do is they like to torture people. They're all about like torturing you to like the end of your life, and then bringing you back up and doing it again.
Nice.
That's what
So
the Sith do. So
exactly, yeah, same thing. But the Vong are a little worse because they're not like really. They're not usually trying to get something important out of it. But the Vong are interesting because they kidnapped a Jedi Padawan, turned her to the dark side by just repeatedly torturing her,
right.
and then she called out Jason Solo, and that essentially got him turned to the dark side.
Jason, no.
Yep.
And that's where Kylo's inspiration came from, maybe.
It is. It is.
Who's Kylo? I don't know. I don't know anything about these.
Kylo? I barely know him.
Kylo, I
Those-
don't know yo. So
That whole
is Shin Hati Mara Jade?
No.
No.
What?
No.
Where?
Is he-
I didn't.
She's way
okay.
too young.
She's not
How
hot
is
enough.
she way too young?
Because she's like barely Padawan. Well,
No,
I guess
she-
she's probably Ezra's age, maybe.
Mara Jade was on par with Luke's power, dude.
Yeah, she was cool. Plus, she
was-
was a spy.
Yeah.
But I thought she was a bad.
She was.
She was.
She was the
bad,
Emperor's
yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
So essentially, the Emperor's not apprentice.
Oh, that's a good point.
His
Jake.
assassin.
Yeah.
I
So
wonder
Mara
if it's
Jade.
perhaps some version
I'm not
of
saying-
a
That'd be
brother,
cool.
sister, father calling out to him.
That'd be cool. Let's hear it, John. I love Mara Jade. Or
Yeah,
Jin.
Mara Jade. I would bring her in, but it needs to be way cooler than Shin Hati because Mara Jade is 10 times cooler.
So you guys aren't Shin Hati.
Oh,
simps?
I'm a big fan of Shin Hati.
Yeah.
But
However-
dogged the crap out of her. Oh yeah, I know.
However,
Yeah, I'm
Mara Jade,
just saying, Mara Jade just wipes the floor, man.
yeah, Mary Jade is practically Mary Jane. It's real close, but she's way cooler.
Thrawn, Skywalker's Academy, thanks for joining us today. Thrawn was born around 59 BBY, so he's getting into 60s, almost 70.
Yeah.
Which is what age Lars Mikkelsen is. I guess
That's-
that explains his gut.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't mind as much with him like you were, and I could
would have.
kind of
Well, his
forgive
brother
Disney
is
a
a
little
little
bit.
bit taller and more upright.
Mhm. We don't know how
Oh,
long
man.
the Chiss live, anyways, so he could be unconcerned with the passage of time.
I know they live longer than humans. I know that for a
Sure.
fact.
Yeah.
They're like at least a 150, plus, which is nice.
Also, if you're watching the stream, go ahead and like and subscribe.
And tell your
appreciate you
tell us
joining
about
us.
your friends, because we say
We're not-
that
we're
instead
not
of
to
telling
that
us
part of
about
the
your.
stream yet,
telling
David.
your-
We're not to
Aw.
that part of the stream. That's
Dang
at
it,
the
I'm a
end.
little early. I get excited.
All right, I guess you can leave now. Bye.
Oh, okay. So, but anyways, yeah, they dropped off Shin and Balin, and what's her face is like, I'm actually trying to leave him there. That was
they're-
funny too, because they just they seem oblivious to that. Like, don't you-
Or
you
Like
he's
once
not
they find out, that they killed Ezra and Sabine, they're just gonna leave, right?
I mean,
I don't
if
think
they
he cares.
die.
I don't think he cares. I don't think he even wants to bother verifying that. He's just like either he'll kill them or they're all
Or they're stuck there forever.
they're stuck here in eternal battle anyways. So
That's
we're
what he said.
we're out. Yeah, peace.
Yeah.
We're out.
He said, I've been waiting too long for this.
Yeah, that was at the end. Okay, so then the
10
little
years.
supplies.
the little crustacean people,
Ninja Turtles.
yeah, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who, yeah, I think the shells they have they're not organically connected to them. They just use that to hide. Is that what you guys think? Which I guess is true for like an actual conch shell crab. They don't.
Okay.
Their shell isn't organically connected. They literally just live in it, and then they pick a new one when they want to.
That'd be cool.
So that's how I kind of.
Yeah.
Not
I'd be
that
for
that, that doesn't break canon. So I think we're good. But
Nope. We haven't had them yet.
Yeah, we've barely met these little things.
TMNTs.
scooters, these little
We
squealers.
just know that they're civilized. They wear clothes, and they travel in little gypsy camps.
Yeah, they're basically like the hobbits, honestly. Just
Actually, yeah,
hobbits.
no, from Rings of Power, yeah, they're basically those
A
hobbits.
simple folk.
Harfoot. We're a little Harfoot. That's how they would
don't-
talk if they spoke English.
Sorry.
I don't watch Rings of Power. It's blasphemy.
Yeah, it was pretty
Just
bad.
know, we're all a little Harfoot.
There was parts I liked, but
I
like
could have been a
CGI was-
Harfoot.
the CGI and like the plot was real rough.
Why is there a little bug on?
Like everything involving Jim, if you haven't seen it, anything involving like
don't.
Saruman was real bad CGI.
That wasn't Saruman.
They turned it into Mordor. They created Mordor.
Yeah, but that's not Saruman.
Sauron. Like 2-syllable difference.
Okay,
But that's
Jake.
a big difference.
maybe. 1 syllable.
Jake, we did talk about this. Can you pull Jake's comment up?
Yeah.
We did talk about this, and my thought was, if they were undead, why would Thrawn be concerned about their dwindling numbers? Because
Yes.
he didn't want to send more than 2 squads, which is like 8 people.
Yeah.
If he's that concerned about their dwindling numbers, I don't think they're all, at least a good portion of them, are undead.
Because then he could just revive them.
Yeah, because then he could just revive them over and over. Unless armor's a problem, and they're just like, he's like, man, we're going through so much armor. I keep putting it together like.
I'm tired of
I
feeding
keep
these
super-
kids.
I'm tired of super gluing these helmets back together, man.
Not the Craggle.
Yes.
Uh,
So then we have the reveal of Space Jesus is the next topic.
she's walking forever, and they show those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for like 10 minutes straight of B-roll, and then you finally get there, and I was like, man, it's been a solid 5 minutes walking up to this tent.
Dude, I was expecting the episode to end
Yeah.
before we
Yeah.
saw Ezra, or it was gonna turn to Ezra, and then he was gonna say one thing, and then it was gonna be boom, done. And
Yeah,
I was
one
like,
thing like, what are
so
you
mad.
doing here? Like, the whole point of me coming here was to
What
make
have
sure
you
were safe.
done?
Also, how did you get here? And she's like, oh, I'm not gonna talk about that right now.
Yeah. Like,
Let me be
let's
mean
make
like
out
my
first.
fun. Let me have fun.
all right, Jake
Don't
has
ask me
some.
questions.
The pause he had there, the whole scene was weird. I honestly wonder what his deal is with the Night Sisters. You're talking about Ezra's deal with the Night Sisters? Also, how does Ezra not see the Chimera over the hill and be like, huh,
Eh.
you're here. The Chimera's there. I think I can put 2 and 2 together.
This is bad.
You're
This
not
is
here to
very,
help
very
a
bad.
brother out.
I know. I was like, how far did she ride? Like, she's gone for what? Part of a day? Or
If that. I mean,
no, she was
depending
gone
on
for a day.
rotation.
They showed a day, so I can
I
assume
think
a
they're
day.
definitely within eye shot of the spire. And
Like, because it's pretty flat land and it's wide open and.
Yeah. That whole planet's been like, looks like it's just been mined to death. Or
I feel like here's my thing. There is a lot of nomads on this planet, right? Just
Yeah, bandits and nomads.
bandits, and anyone wants to get off this rock. And as soon as I see a ship docking at a spire, I'm like getting all my homies together, and
Tower of Babel, baby.
we are getting on that ship.
Yeah, so Thrawn's agreement with the Night Sisters, my understanding is he solely used them to communicate to Elsbeth, to get Elsbeth to make the giant ring, to come over to this galaxy to get them back.
Yeah.
So that's my
Agreed.
understanding.
That's why we all came to the assumption of that
Yeah.
it's a partnership to get out of the galaxy, and it's probably about
Yeah,
it.
Thrawn wants to get back to continue his mission, and the sisters want to get back because they're scared of something here.
And this
they
place
just wanna-
sucks.
Because the Yuzon Vong is in our galaxy, correct?
The cool thing about them, they actually come from another galaxy. They are essentially traveling nomad space raiders. They go from galaxy to galaxy, kill everything. What they don't kill, they plant seeds in all the planets, grow more, everything, and then they enslave the populations that are left to,
Yeah.
work for 'em.
They're described as a scourge.
Wow.
But not like Thor, like not that bad.
Yeah, but they're helping them, Jake,
Oh,
because
yeah,
they need his Star Destroyer to get back to our galaxy.
Come on, Jake.
Yeah.
Keep up.
Well, and he can
They
also
they
when he
don't
gets-
they don't
Yep.
have another means of transport at the moment.
Yeah, and
we,
you all-
we believe that the Purgils are not working with them in this instance, unfortunately.
Because they're just not there. The right, as far as the sisters know, the Purgil are back in our galaxy right now. They can't count on them coming back to their death grounds in the time that they need them to.
Yeah.
So they are like, we just got to use Thrawn's big bad spaceship to get back to.
His crew needs to fly it, and
Yeah.
then, but not only that, but once they get to the galaxy, hey, I have an empire of resources. I can hook you guys up with a ship or two.
True, because his council, the Shadow Council, is still waiting for
Mhm.
him to come back.
Yes. Yep.
As we
And
saw in
and my
Mando.
boy Pelion, Admiral Pelion, or Captain, whatever he is at this time.
Mm-hmm. And then, so back to Ezra and Sabine. Apparently, some of us did not like or care for those scenes.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really do much for me. I feel like we're just building up this sweet reunion to see. So he
They
can be
better not
mad.
kill him.
It,
Don't kill,
it,
kill
it,
Ezra.
it would have been a good reunion if it wasn't like the big freaking elephant in the room that we all know. Like,
I hope so.
GA Thrawn.
We all know Ezra has some dark side in him. 100%, he's got some dark side.
Everyone
What
does.
if when he finds out what Sabine did, he like snaps a little bit?
Well, he's gonna get mad for sure. Like
oh
you
yeah.
don't
We
not
see-
get mad. He spent 10 years there, dude.
So you think he's not going to be mad, or he's
no,
gonna be
he's
mad.
for sure gonna be mad.
But okay,
He's like,
gonna
I
be
have
mad
lived
that-
with these mole creatures for 10 years. And
I sacrificed my life. I thought I sacrificed my life.
Okay, so he's because Sabine essentially undid his sacrifice, and now he's going to be mad.
Well, and now the
because of that.
galaxy's in danger again.
So yeah, I mean, I
rewind the
hope
clock 10 years.
I hope we see a little bit of dark side exude from him when
do
he
too.
finds that out, and like dust and rock raises from the ground, and
That
like,
would be
maybe a little bit
sick.
like
I
he
think,
just gets
John,
mad.
two things are going to happen. One of two things are going to happen. What you just said is going to happen, or he's going to be like, I'm so in tune with the Force right now. It is what it is.
I'm chill. Well, he's gonna be like Thor in Endgame. I'm chill, Thor, yo. Or no, in Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the movie. Gosh.
I'm
terrible.
calm, Thor. Like I'm calm, Ezra. Or, I can
Boo.
handle anything. I don't get angry.
What
Or
if
or he already knows because the Force came to him in a vision.
I mean, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all if he already knows, because he should be
Yeah.
able to sense like a bajillion life forces off in the distance, especially the Dark
Yeah.
Sisters, the Night
Well,
Sisters. They should
and you
sense
sh-
him.
And you should be able
What
to
if-
sense her too.
here's a theory for you. What if the past 10 years, okay, Ezra has just been freaking terrorizing this planet. And that is why they are so desperate to get off this planet.
he's
Dracula?
actually the villain now, and Thrawn like turns into a good guy because Ezra just terrorizes him.
Oh, that'd be a plot twist. Dude, he's Dracula. He comes out at night.
I mean, honestly, it could be like a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea kind of situation.
Yeah, you're right.
Or
Where
Legion.
they're like, "Oh, come to my area. We do this," but
Mhm.
then he actually just hunts humans.
Yep.
Okay,
First
so
possessed.
that we go back to the scene where Elsbeth and Thrawn are talking, and they kind of build out a little bit of what happens, and Thrawn gives Elsbeth a lashing because they didn't kill Ahsoka. Apparently, the Night Sisters
Jedi.
sensed that Ahsoka was coming on the Purgil, which
A
is
Jedi.
interesting.
A Jedi was coming. Yeah.
But then somehow, okay, so then Elsbeth put it together that it was Ahsoka because that's the last person they saw.
How many
Correct.
Jedi?
Thrawn.
Have you seen?
Yeah, it was Thrawn that put it. He's like, it's Ahsoka, isn't it?
How did he put it together that it was Ahsoka?
Because
You know
Elsbeth
she's fucking-
said that, because he even said the dead Jedi, the one you told me you just killed. I bet you it's her.
Balon
'Cause
screw me over.
Oh yeah, the one he said he killed. That did happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
could it be the
Yeah.
recently deceased Ahsoka? No, he was
Yeah.
not mad. He was not happy.
Yeah,
in
in
that
other
scene.
words, I didn't buy that she was dead either. Like, she's obviously coming.
Watch this. Look at his face there. He is not happy.
No,
That's the face of a not happy man.
like, I'm about to bite you.
Okay, there was one line in here that annoyed me.
Let's hear it.
He said to Elsbeth, I want to know everything there is to know about Ahsoka, her homeworld, her master, her background. He should already know all of that. 100%, he should know all of that already.
Not necessarily. He doesn't know
I thought
her
about that.
master. He doesn't know her master.
He knows that Anakin. He knows who Anakin
He knows
is.
Anakin, but he doesn't know that he's his master.
So
He's her master.
When
let me
Thrawn
get you a
came
little-
into the game, Anakin was already Vader at this point. I mean, he knows
he
that
knew that Vader
he knows that
was
Vader,
Anakin.
right? But he didn't know anything about his time at the temple. I don't
Okay,
think.
but if you find out that the big bad, the second Sith in the entire galaxy used to be a Jedi, one of the most well-known Jedi in the galaxy, are you going to do some digging and be like, all right, like what all did he do in the galaxy? I want to know.
Perhaps. I guess according to lore, now he didn't.
Also,
Not necessarily.
apparently,
He was on his team.
Thrawn was around in the prequel time. Did you all know that?
Okay, so
Right.
pause. So
Is that the old book? The 90s Thrawn
no,
book?
that is one of the new books. It's the worst of them in audiobook. Real bad.
It's the one where
Real
Padme
bad.
talks, right?
It's the one with Padme. So a guy is trying to voice Padme. It's real rough.
Okay, well, let me read a little bit of that excerpt, and you all tell me.
Do it with the audiobook though.
You all tell me if Thrawn should know who Ahsoka is. And I'll read it just like the audiobook did. Oh, Padme said, trying to remember the details. It had been a long time since Anakin had told her about Ahsoka's inspiring maneuver. It's a battle tactic invented by his former Padawan apprentice. A warship turns its hangar bay away from its attacker and launches its fighters unseen. They stay in the ship's visual shadow while they form up and accelerate to attack speed. Then they come around their ship from all sides, attacking the enemy from every direction at once. Interesting, Thrawn murmured. I can see how that could be useful against certain species, those in particular who have difficulty focusing on more than one direction. It worked pretty well against the droid fighters Ahsoka was up against at that time too, Padme said. Anakin told me that Marg Sable is a type of Togrutan flower that opens its petals in a sunburst shape every morning. You're muted, David. Unless you're intending to be.
Was that last part of it?
That last part was that whole excerpt was part of it.
Interesting.
So he should know who Ahsoka is.
Yeah, I didn't remember him specifically talking about her, but yes. Yeah.
Padme was talking to Thrawn about Anakin's Padawan, Ahsoka. Dave, what are you
Well, I
doing?
mean,
Sam
maybe-
Witwer wasn't there on set. If Sam Witwer was there on set that day, he would have been like, yo, Dave, Thrawn already knows who Ahsoka is. And I just feel like I haven't read the book. All I've seen is Rebels.
Right.
And even in my mind, I'm like, he shouldn't, how does he not know who Ahsoka is?
Right.
So that's kind of where my head's at.
And yeah, we'll just call it a fluke for the sake of the audience that he put that well, that's what we'll say.
Well, he could have changed that too, since it is just a book, and
Yeah,
they
I
haven't
mean,
been
he's-
actually using books really.
But the canon books are canon. That's
But he's undone canon books already. And
From
he's
since
undone
2012?
canon comics. Yes. What's his name? Filoni has undone Rebels comic or Star Wars canon comics. Yes.
interesting.
I don't know
I didn't
what
know that.
exactly, but I just know that he has. In a similar type of way. I would say from my recollection, it was comparable to this.
So he has that power. So he can just
Oh, yeah.
erase the sequels. If I ask him
maybe
to,
not
he
that
won't.
much power, but
Megan.
the thread of destiny demands it.
Yes. Do it.
So yeah,
So that's the episode. Far
that's the episode.
far away.
What's gonna happen next? Ahsoka's gonna show up. They're all gonna be surprised that the space whales are here. Ezra is going to be mad. I hope. They're going to have to fight Balin and Shin 100%. Ezra doesn't have a lightsaber, to our knowledge.
Oh,
That's why Shin has 2.
That's why Sabine is here to give him the lightsaber.
Shin has 2?
Shin has 2.
She's
Shin
never
has 2.
used 2 so far, has she?
Or maybe she has something else on her belt, but it looks a lot like.
I thought the same thing, David. It looked a lot like 2 to me, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Shin Hati is packing.
You know what, David? David, I think the scene with 2 on her belt is before they gave Sabine hers back.
Oh, that could have easily been it, because she had them for a while.
Yeah, so I think she had 2 on her belt, because I noticed that, and then, you know what? It might have been before they gave her the saber back when she rides off. So I don't think... maybe she doesn't have 2. So misspoke.
So I feel like she would have used 2 in her first fight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially when Ahsoka was.
Yeah. But I wanted it to be where Ezra kind of shows up. He pops in at the kind of last second to save someone. I feel like that would have been a better entrance than this.
Yeah.
But he could still do that.
And there we have it. The episode of Ahsoka with no Ahsoka.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
But she's coming by herself.
I was expecting Rebels.
It bothers me only to the point of the show is called Ahsoka.
You mean like
this
Obi-Wan?
Is just the norm. This is just the norm.
I know.
They really need to rename their shows.
They do, because if you're gonna name the show Ahsoka, I want it to be about Ahsoka.
Boba Fett.
Like they've done it with everyone.
So it only irks me to that degree. Other than that, it was fine. Yeah,
it was exposition. It was more understanding. So
I will say, it will start to irk me if it does this more and more, because it seems like it's more and more like the show should be called Sabine and not Ahsoka. And that's if it keeps going that route, it's gonna irk me, because
with this show,
it's not
with all of the shows.
With this season specifically, like it's focusing way more on Sabine than it is Ahsoka, and it's not called Sabine; it's called Ahsoka.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
Unfortunately, I'm numb to it at this point. Like it's just par for the course.
Yeah,
that's
my 2 cents.
Yeah. Any other predictions?
Ahsoka's gonna get shot down.
Oh, her Purgil's gonna get.
Yeah, because remember, that's right. You said to kill all Purgils on sight.
Man.
Yep. She's gonna have a whale crash landing.
Sounds like a whale of a time.
So all the whales are all the Purgil are gonna come out of hyperspace, right? And they're immediately just gonna like fall into the graveyard. It's gonna get pounded by the Star Destroyer.
Honestly, I don't see that going well for Thrawn though, because they could just their dead bodies could barricade the Chimera. Like I just feel like it's a bad idea, but
we'll find out.
Thrawn's the.
You just drive around to the other side of the planet, John.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't really even know what to expect, other than there's going to be a lot of conflict all around.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
what they should have done, if I was Thrawn, I would immediately leave, or if I could, or as soon as possible leave.
Mm-hmm.
Drive out of atmosphere a little ways behind the graveyard, and then just shoot turbo lasers or like ion cannons or concussion, like something to push the graveyard into the planet.
Honestly, okay, they're moving something onto the ship, right? They're moving a bunch of caskets onto the ship.
I think it's whatever. Is it caskets? I thought maybe it was whatever this gold like material that they're using. They're transporting it onto the ship for some reason. Is that what?
It could be cortosis.
Is that the oil? The fuel?
No, cortosis is basically the old version of Beskar.
Oh yeah, that was in the Bane trilogy.
Yeah, so it acts a little different than Beskar, whereas Beskar is more of like a sheet of metal. Cortosis is more of like a piece of granite where, part of it is just overall rock. Part of it will actually like your saber will catch on it and actually just like turn off.
Oh yeah, I remember
if it's
that.
catching too
It
much.
messed with their lightsabers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that starting to come back. Yeah, I wonder what they're moving. They're just kind of carting all this stuff.
It's
onto
all
the
his
ship.
riches and plunder from his time in the
Must
galaxy.
be.
His art.
His,
Yeah.
yeah, his stolen art.
It's all his
Uh,
art.
He still has Hera's little
Calicori.
statue.
The Calicori. I remember
Yeah,
that
stole
term.
it back.
That stuck with me. No,
It's
yeah, they stole it back. Oh, he stole it back from her, stealing it back from him. Yeah. All right. Any other things? No, nothing else. Good, because I got nothing else either. All right. Well, this was our smoothest episode yet. I don't know why. It was just really smooth. So we'll be back next week on Tuesday, potentially.
I hope so.
We will see you all on next week's episode of what's our show called? The Rogue Podcast.
Oh
Star
man.
Wars.
I'm on too many shows. So
Do it.
we'll see you all next week. Thanks for
Like,
joining. Leave a
sub.
like, leave a comment, like, sub, and now we can say it.
Tell your friends
Tell us
about
your
us,
friends.
or tell
And
us.
then I
friends.
need you all to tell us which was worse, Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi.
Or Book of
Please
Boba Fett.
Please tell us which one was worse. And then I think it'll be a good time in the comments below. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and check out the Lego CPA. And we'll see you all next week.